it was very dangerous. So there definitely were thoughts in my mind that he might not live and that I might have to take care of my kids by myself and not have my husband.
I remember I was home with Aaron. Aaron was 8 years old at that time, and he's 11 now.
He told me he was afraid to be home with Aaron alone, and I was on my way to church, and I just got this weird feeling and said, yeah, we better go to the hospital. I took him to the hospital, and they didn't run tests at first. They just gave him a pain shot, and we were going to be sent home from the hospital. I said, well, we're not really going to leave the hospital until we find out what's wrong. Then they decided to do a scan, a CT scan of his head, and when they came back, they said that he had to go into ICU immediately because of the swelling in his brain. The tumor was the size of a tennis ball, so it was very large.
I went through a period there, I think of a year or two, of just guilt of, choosing to step out of work because I care about the people that are at the church, all of you that are members of the Salvation Army, and also the people in this community. I always enjoyed talking to the people. I'm sure that's the part I miss the most. I really do miss seeing the people, knowing that I can have some kind of impact on their life. In some cases, I would have a direct impact. Like I would get someone off the street, literally, and put them up in a motel for one night because it was, say, cold weather and they had no place to sleep. So I miss having that power, I guess you could use the word power, just to that ability to say, hey, the Salvation Army has been blessed with some donations here. We can take this money and help that person with food, shelter, get them off the street. But if I could change my past, go back and not have had it, I would say no. I'm thankful now that I've gone through this. It's been a joy just to sit here and not hurt and enjoy life a little bit. But I'm kind of grateful I had it. It's a long explanation, but to try to keep it short, it's just taught me so much. Like, no one likes to hurt every day for 2.5 years straight. That was very difficult. But it forced me to slow down, forced me to rethink my life completely.
I learned a lot about how to take care of somebody very quickly as far as their needs, physically after having a very major surgery like that. You can't do a lot of things for yourself. His balance was affected. He was in a lot of pain. So he had to have help showering. He had to have help, he couldn't really go in the kitchen and fix an egg sandwich anymore or anything like that, at least for a long time. So really a lot of my attention was turned towards caring for him, especially in the first year or so. But I think if we had it to do over again, we would have gone to the doctor a lot quicker. I think it is difficult to think about what are we going to do next? What's going to be the next step in our life? We trust the Lord, and we know that He has a plan for us. And we don't know what that is, but all of our lives we have taught people and preached to people about God's faithfulness, and so we have to trust that now for us. That's kind of where we are now. We are trusting God for what His plan for our life is, and that we will be able to keep doing the mission of what God called us to do, to love people and to serve people, and whether that's at the Salvation Army or whether that's our next door neighbors or whatever that is, we want to be able to do that and do it to the best of our ability.